One Piece chapter 1169. I just reread it. I read it yesterday in the evening, and yeah, now a second time going through it a bit more in detail. And yeah, it's a great chapter. It's confirming a lot of the series for me, and yeah, I'm gonna talk about it now. The chapter starts off with Shanks at Gaban's house, and Gaban's wife and son watching them as they get out of the bath, and then basically talking. And first off, Gaban tells Shanks about Ace, that Roger had a son, because apparently Gaban met Garp, and Garp told him about it. It's like another example of Garp talking to even a former pirate, but a former Roger pirate, and not necessarily fighting him or wanting to take him in, but just talking to him and even telling him about Ace. Hey, yeah, Ace is doing good. He's staying out of trouble. He's not in trouble with Marines or anything. He's staying off the radar for now. And yeah, he's telling about it, and then Shank's like, oh, so basically you have a little brother out there. And Gavan is laughing, and it's like, yeah, you and Buggy always were like our sons, like in confirming this, that also, yeah, Buggy is not only Shanks, is like, Shanks was on the Roger cruise ship from when he was a baby, but Buggy was also there from like a very young age. We don't know when he came on board of the ship yet, and how that happened. But apparently, yeah, it must have been also a very young age, probably soon after Shanks even, because they're of a similar age. And that both of them were basically the sons of the entire crew. Yeah, and Shanks is thinking about, yeah, maybe Ace is gonna become the next pirate king. He's gonna supersede Roger and follow in his footsteps. And Gaban is like a little skeptical of that, and it's like, yeah, people, I don't know about this whole blood thing, the blood of Roger thing. Like, it's not always that the people that have like these high expectations on them set by others that they succeed. Often often they fail. And this comes true in the story. Like, Ace is not the man to follow Roger. It's most likely, and because he's the main character of the story, it's Luffy that is the man that follows in Roger's footstep. And it's more about like not direct inheritance by blood, but inherited will is a big theme in the One Piece story. So yeah, so they talk about that. And we cut to the castle where Harald just cut down one of his guards and is like standing there, not even knowing what he's done. Like he cut the guard down, but he doesn't even realize like why or how he cut the guard down. Basically, he's losing complete control over his body at the moment. And the other guards are like, hey, hey Harald, why did you cut him down? He was just chaining you to the pillar like you ordered. And yeah, basically Harald is losing control. He's thinking to himself, why did I do that? I can't control my body anymore. And he yells to his guards, and then he's like internally fighting with himself, and it's like, no, I can't let this happen. Like, I can't let Elbaf be enslaved by Imu. And then he yells out with like this last bit of will. It's like, yeah, you guys, you must kill me. Please kill me. I must be killed. And that's the scene where all the guards jam their weapons, their spears, their halberds, whatever those are, into Harald, and Loki and Yaru come in that moment. It's like, what is going on? And it was speculated by a lot of people, maybe Loki went mad after seeing like all the guards stab his father and killed the guards, but that's not the case. Like, Loki remained a not calm, like, but he assessed the situation as like he sees his father being stabbed by a lot of weapons. Like, realistically, he should be dead, and he sees him right in front of him. Harald is regenerating, and he's thinking to himself, "Oh no, I really am immortal. Like, I can't die." And Harald is thinking of what to do, and Loki and Jarl come in together, disarm Harald, who's like striking at his guards and yelling at the same moment, "Guys, run away from me! Get away from me! I can't control myself." Like his body is doing one thing and he's saying another thing. And yeah, Loki and Jarl come in together. Loki wielding his rounded hammer at that moment, and Jarl a big sword. And they sort of pin Harald down onto the ground, pin him to the ground, each of them holding one of his arm, and they're asking Harald, what is going on? What is happening here? And Harald is telling them, I'm losing control. I'm being controlled. I've been betrayed by the world government. I've been made a fool. You guys, you must kill me. And then he tells them, Loki must eat the treasure, the secret treasure of Elbaf. Jarl tells Jarl, see to it that Loki eats the secret treasure and kills me. Like Harald is searching for a way out of this. Like, basically, he's losing control, and he's still aware that he's losing control at this moment, and he's like, how can I die? How can I be killed? And the one solution he comes to is that Loki should eat the secret fruit of Elbaf and eat the secret treasure of Elbaf and use it to kill him. So we don't know what that devil fruit is, what it entails, if Loki even ends up eating it. We don't know yet. But supposedly he does. And it's one of the crimes he got punished for in the end. And yeah. So Loki runs off, and Jarl tries to hold Harald back, but he loses more and more control. Like, right after telling them, Loki, you must eat this fruit. Go, my son, eat the fruit, and take Ragnir and kill me. Like, he also tells him to take Ragnir, I think. Not 100% on that anymore, even though I just read it. Yeah. And right after that, Loki is running off, and Jarl can't hold Harald back on his own anymore. Jarl strikes out with his sword, strikes him down, and yells after Loki, Loki! You can't be allowed to eat the fruit. I must eat it. And Loki's like, what is going on? You just told me to eat it. Like, what are you saying now? It's basically the point of Harald losing his last bit of control. From then out, we only have internal thoughts of him still like being like, okay, I can't refuse the commands. And in between that, actually, we got a cut back to the hut with Shanks and Gaban, and Shanks telling Gaban about the Shallow Sea contract. And this is a very interesting part of the chapter for me, especially. And my Shanks wanted to lose his arm theory, which basically all but confirms it. Because what Shanks tells us, even in the Shallow Sea contract, you can't refuse a command by the Great One, by Imu. So even only with a Shallow Sea contract, if you're close enough to Imu, like if you're in the Holy Land, like even only in the Holy Land, being in the Holy Land, like not even being like next to Imu, you can't refuse a command and by the Great One. And we don't have an example of Shanks like meeting Imu or seeing Imu, because by what we know, only certain people exist that even know of Imu, that we directly converse and met Imu. So what might be the case is that even there's a command structure, so a command from the Gorosei might be enough for someone with the Shallow Sea contract. They can't refuse a command, like the Gorosei tells Shanks, hey, go kill this pirate, and if he's in the Holy Land, he's close enough in the vicinity of Imu that he can't refuse this command. This might be what's going on here, but yeah. This all but confirms that Shanks lost his arm on purpose, got rid of the mark on his arm as to not be bound to the contract anymore. And lucky for him, he didn't have the regeneration ability yet, so losing him the arm, cutting off the seal, the contract was still possible. And that makes him probably able to go and face Imu in the end, because if he didn't do that and he went even into the vicinity of Imu, he couldn't refuse a command by Imu. Like even someone with like godlike conqueror Sharky like Shanks, even someone like that can't refuse a command by that. And he tells Gaban furthermore that if you go into a deep sea contract, you gain regeneration, you gain power, like you grow stronger. And we just had that in the castle where Loki was like clashing with Harald and was like, how is he and was thinking to himself, like on one hand, how is he still alive and why is he so powerful? Like Loki is like, okay, last time I maybe clashed, like playflighted, maybe like dueled with his father. He wasn't this powerful, he wasn't this strong, so like it's a considerable strength boost as well. So on one hand you gain a huge strength boost, on the other hand you gain immortality, you regenerate all your wounds, you can't be hurt. And Shanks is like, yeah, but and you can also travel through the abyss over like vast distances, you instantly basically, over the entire world, everywhere where there's abyss circle you can travel to. And she's like, yeah, but it's a trade-off, because if you go into this deep sea contract, the voice of Imu can reach you everywhere. And by him being able to reach you anywhere on the world, no matter how far away you are, it is becoming completely impossible to have basically your own free will, your own free thought. It's complete, utter domination. You must follow what Imu says. Every of his whims, every of his commands, there's no more getting away from it. And Gaban is like shocked by this and is like, yeah, okay, I don't think Harald should go into this contract then. I don't think that's a good idea then. And as this happens, a huge Conqueror's Haki clash. The fucking Conqueror's Haki lightning bolts emerge from the castle house. And yeah, Shanks and Gaban are like, oh fuck, okay, what is going on? And head straight for the castle. And yeah, back at the castle, Harald is chasing after Loki, and Jarl is trying to stop him. And Harald stabs his sword through Jarl's helmet, through his head, assumedly, maybe. One theory I'm having is like, just maybe the sword's not going through his head. Maybe he has a weirdly shaped head under this helmet. Maybe. But he says one thing to Jarl while stabbing him through the helmet with the sword, is like, I'm sorry, I must return this legendary sword you gave me once to you, and must take up Ragnir. Now we know Ragnir is the hammer Loki wields in the current day. Here in the backflash, he doesn't have Ragnir yet. So Ragnir is a hammer which is basically has a really giant hammer with a square hammerhead. In the backflash, Loki is already wielding a hammer, but he has a round hammer with a rounded hammerhead. So yeah, that's clearly not Ragnir what Loki is wielding right now. It's clear a very distinct different hammer. Also, Ragnir is as a hammer, it is looking kind of plain, like it is really just a big square on a stick, the way it looks in the manga. And the hammer Loki has right now has some ornaments on it. It's looking actually a bit more fancy than Ragnir, but yeah, we know Ragnir is a very mighty weapon. Like Loki still used it to summon lightning. We don't know if that's is a power that Ragnir has. Is it a power Loki has? How did he summon lightning using his fucking hammer? We don't know. Maybe it's gonna be explained later on. Anyway, Harald is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to give this legendary sword back by stabbing you through the head with it, and take up Ragnir and eat this treasure of Elbaf. And in the background, Loki's running away. Harald is stepping over Jarl's body on the ground and running after Loki, and in come Shanks and Gaban in a flash, like both slicing Harald. Like they see the situation, they get out instantly what's going on, I guess, or mostly what's going on, and strike down Harald. And then they see Jarl on the ground, and it's like Jarl, are you fine? Like, the dude has a fucking sword through his head. Of course, they're like, oh, you good, man? And Jarl's like, yeah, I'm fine. My helm saved me, even though the sword is coming out on the other side of the helmet. Okay, yeah, your helm saved you. Sure, yeah. What's going on? It's like, yeah, we must stop Harald. He's not himself anymore. And last page is basically Loki opening the door, removing a lock from the treasure room where there is treasure, the devil fruit of Elbaf is kept. There's a chest, and he's like, oh, there it is. And he's about to go there and get there, but then he suddenly gets attacked. Like, in comes flying the hammer Ragnir into the room, and Loki has to dodge out of the way. So in this chapter, he doesn't eat the devil fruit yet. So the question for me is, like, does he eat it? Does he end up eating it? The assumption is yes. But there's one other possibility, like Ragnir is being thrown at Loki, who's right in front of the chest or close to the chest. What if the hammer flying in smashed the devil fruit, and what if by like basically crushing up the devil fruit with the weapon, Ragnir eats the treasure of Elbaf? Like, there's one possibility. I don't believe it, to be honest. I do think Loki ends up eating it, the devil fruit. I'm more on that side, but it hasn't happened yet, so nothing else is out of the realm of possibilities. So maybe that's what's gonna happen now. Yeah, and yeah, Emo is crazy powerful, and like at the beginning, Harald was able to resist, and it was just gradual. He was able to resist less and less. Like, first it was his body, he couldn't move on his own command anymore. He had to follow the will of Emo, and in the end, his complete character changed. Like, he couldn't, like at the start, he could still tell Loki and her Jarl what's going on, and still tell him, hey, I need to die, I need to be killed, I've been betrayed. He could still resist somewhat, but gradually, with time, he couldn't even do that anymore, and his character completely changed. He became a completely different person. So the people Emo has under control in the deep sea contract, and the people that are close to them, even if they act a certain way, that might not be actually them. That is Emo, which is a huge reveal to me. It's like any of the Gorosei might actually have a completely different character to what they're showing. But the fact that they're in a contract with Emo makes them completely lose their character. They change completely to whatever Emo wants them to be. So that's not necessarily them. Are they bad people? Yes. Do we need to stop them by force? Yes. Those in the deep sea contract might not be able to be saved. After all, there might be a way. I doubt it though, because this is not Domi Reversied. This is something else. Harald didn't get Domi Reversied in this chapter. He just got an order by Emo, and it took some time, but with time he wasn't able to resist the order anymore. This is something else than Domi Reversied. Like, people that get Domi Reversied can be saved. We saw Roger and Garb basically breaking the curse on rocks, so we know for a fact it can be undone. But yeah, people in the deep sea contract, something else. People in the lower sea contract have a chance by removing the mark from their body, removing the contract from their body like Shanks did. Or does that work? Maybe Shanks gonna still be under Emu's control after all. Maybe if he stands before Emu, Emu's like, you think you're sly, you cut you off your arm. Nah. Snaps, and Shanks' arm regenerates instantly, and the mark is there again, and Shanks is like, oh fuck. And then Emu orders Shanks, that Monkey D. Luffy guy, go kill him for me. Do that. Maybe that's something that's gonna happen. Like, oof, that would go hard, to be honest. Yeah, but for now I would say, yeah, Shanks should be good with his arm cut off as a shallow sea contract guy. If he was in the deep sea contract, I don't think there is a way back from there on, because it's, as I said in a discussion about the other chapter, it's like Harald had to agree to going into the deep sea contract. The Gorosei, the deep sea contract wasn't necessarily entirely forced on him. The Gorosei said to him, hey Harald, you got this opportunity to go into the deep sea contract. Do you want to do it? So he was asked. And I do think this being asked is giving you permission to it is required for something, because it's like a pact with the devil. You're like, you have to say yes. You have to sign the pact with the devil. And then the devil got you. But yeah, great chapter. A lot of expanding on the power of Emu, and he is getting scarier and scarier, I must say. Emu ain't a joke. And I really like it because it really expands on the character a lot. And like, people were criticizing Oda for like introducing Emu this late in the story, and we're comparing it to Naruto when we swapped out Madara for Kaguya. But at this point, Oda is taking his sweet time in expanding on Emu, expanding on the character, so I don't think you can compare the two anymore. It's gonna be interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. See you next time.